What's up, everybody? This is Mayor Hawk, and for the first time ever, you're seeing my face. I know, not quite what you expected. But hey, tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take a look at a card game that I loved a lot that got discontinued quite a while ago, and I just want to talk about it, why I liked it, and how I wish it would come back and maybe just bring some awareness to it, because I think it was a really fun game and I wish it was still going. I had a blast with it and I felt like it was just getting going. So I'm going to switch the camera around and we're going to continue from there. So here we're looking at some of the cards from that game, and the card game that I was talking about is Kaijudo. So here we have a look at the back of the card. It was just a pretty flashy thing, said Kaijudo, the name of the card game, so that's pretty standard. And then here we're looking at 5 different cards. I'm zooming out so you guys can see it. But these are each representatives of the civilizations in Kaijudo. So if you've ever played Magic the Gathering or heard of it, it had 5 colors. And following that suit, Kaijudo had 5 civilizations, which could be 5 colors if you wanted to look at it that way. We had the Light Civilization, which was a kind of a yellowish gold card. The Darkness Civilization, which was purple. The Water Civilization, which was blue. Nature, which was green. And Fire, which was, of course, red. So, each civilization kind of had its strong suit. Red dealt damage, blue normally could do draw card, green dealt with cards in your mana zone, either putting them in or getting them out. Purple, darkness, kind of dealt with killing stuff or getting stuff back out of your graveyard. And then your white civilization, it dealt with just tapping cards, that card removal standpoint. And so, not to get in too heavy into the mechanic, just more talking about the basics of Kaijudo so we can get into the conversation of why I liked it and its discontinuing. So we're going to now look at, these are a couple boxes of decks I have. The boxes were amazing. They looked really cool, sealed by a magnet, and you could get them in a set with a couple decks, so it was really cool. But we're going to look at this deck of mine right here and just look at a couple, like some examples of the art. Wow, struggling doing this one-handed. But we're going to look at some examples of the artwork while we talk about the game and go through just the very basics of it. So, some of the artwork, as you can see, it was amazing. It was a little bit more cartoony than Magic, but it just looks so beautiful. So here I'll show you probably one of my all-time favorite cards in terms of the art and what the card did as well, if I can find it. Here it is. So that card was Crotork the Mirror. They had really interesting names, that's for sure. But as you can see, I don't know if you guys can really see it, had some pretty nifty holofoil going on. And the card itself was full art. And so you can really just appreciate it is very well done detail-wise, but a little bit more cartoony than what you saw in other card games like Magic. So, but not quite as cartoony as other card games like Pokemon. So it was a good in-between of that fun cartoon style, but also just really good art. And I felt like that's where Kaijudo was, and it was just really amazing. So here we're going to just start off. We're going to flip this deck over because you play with your deck face down. I'm not going to shuffle it for the sake of this video, but when you started the game, you would put 5 cards face down in a line next to your deck. So these would be your shields. So that was just to get 5 down. You don't get to look at your shields. These aren't your hand. They're randomly put 5 down from the top of your deck. So you'd shuffle your deck. You have no idea what your shields are. So then you would draw your hand of 5 cards. So the deck size, I've skipped this. Kaijudo decks were minimum 40 cards, so 40 was the maximum, and then a playset was 3. So the most you could have of a certain card in your deck was 3. So like Yu-Gi-Oh in that sense, if anyone is a Yu-Gi-Oh player out there. So you would look at your hand, and then one major difference from it in Magic, because they got compared a lot, was instead of having dedicated mana cards, any card in your hand could be mana. So let's say this is my first hand, and I'm playing for the early game, so this card is 7 cost, purple, so I'm going to put it in my mana zone. So now I have 1 mana in my mana zone, and I've unlocked the Darkness Civilization. So instead of having to have 7, if I was going to try to play this card, instead of having to have 7 dark cards in my mana zone, I just needed to be able to tap 7 cards in my mana zone and have dark unlocked. So I've unlocked dark with this card. Now let's say for the sake of things it's my second turn, so I get to draw. and now I want to play. And I really want to play, I saw it in my hand, I have this 2-cost creature. But it's red, so I need to unlock the red civilization. So I put this red card into my mana zone, unlocking the red civilization. I now have 2 cards in my mana zone, so I could tap them to say I spent them, and I could play this card into the field. And so it would go out into the field in front of the shields, and each card had abilities, so you just read the card and you could do what it said. So when this creature attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card, but it can't attack the turn it enters the field. So that's the basics. Core mechanic of it, of just how you play your cards, is right there. And then let's say an opponent attacked me. My creature doesn't have blockers, so I can't stop attacks. So not all creatures can defend your shields, only the one that say blocker. This one doesn't have blockers, so it can't defend. And you can only attack enemy creatures if they're tapped. So to attack, you tap them, just like in Magic, and then it's eligible to be attacked. So if I were to get attacked, the opponent would choose which of my shields they were going to attack. And when they attack a shield, if it doesn't have Shield Blast, it goes to my hand. So let's see if I have any that have Shield Blast. Yep, got lucky. So Shield Blast, they had an icon for under the number, the mana cost of the card, and the civilization of the card, then they'd have if it was a Shield Blast. But also down here on the card, it would explain Shield Blast. Instead of putting this creature into your hand from a broken shield, you may summon it for free. But not all Shield Blasts were creatures. Let's see if I have any. Well, here was an example. At first, Shield Blasts were only ever spells. The creatures came later. So this, instead of putting this spell into your hand from a broken shield, you may cast it for free. So I don't have to pay its mana cost. I just cast it. So in Kaijudo, you didn't play cards during your opponent's turn, but how that kind of worked was if they hit your shield and there's a Shield Blast, that was played during their turn. So this banish target enemy creature. So banish would be put it from the field of play into the graveyard, and it's out of play now. And so then it was off the field. So this was a very good card to have in your shield zone because it got rid of an attacking creature after it broke the shield. So that's the core mechanics of it, the basics really of Kaijudo, and that's all the further I want to get into it right now, because if I talked about everything about the game, we would be here forever. So I really enjoyed this game. The art was fun. The mechanics were simple enough that you didn't spend forever just learning the game, but they weren't so simple that there wasn't strategy. You had so much to choose from about what were you going to put into your mana zone, every card, the abilities that you could do with them. So there was a lot of skill to learn, but it was also you could pick it up relatively easily. So I felt like they had done that really well. This game was discontinued, I believe, back in 2014. So it's been a few years. We're in 2017 now, and I very much miss this game. I play Magic quite a bit, love Magic, but this was the game that I played when I wanted to play a card game but wasn't feeling like playing Magic. I'd play Kaijudo, and it was a great time. I loved it. Again, I'm just going to say it again, the mechanics were fun, simple fun, enough of a change from Magic that I felt like it was a valid game to have, and I was thoroughly enjoying it. It was fastly becoming my favorite card game, and then it got discontinued. And it wasn't because the game was doing super poorly. In fact, it looked, from everything I can find on the internet, like it was having a pretty decent adaptation rate, and that maybe if they had given it time, we would have it up there with Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! But now we don't get to know because the game is discontinued. From the looks of it, looks like Wizards of the Coast was wanting this to be its hit TV show counterpart to Yu-Gi-Oh! Its competitor there, and the TV show wasn't doing well. So I haven't found any official reason why. It might have been that perhaps they expected the game to explode faster. I don't know if it was financially unsuccessful. I haven't seen any reports that suggest that, but it's very possible that there's non-disclosure on that so that the people who would know wouldn't be able to discuss it. So hopefully we do get to find out why in the future, and I'm really hopeful that somebody picks it up. It was frozen in eternal format, which means the cards are still out there, the rules are still out there and valid. Occasionally I do run across tournaments for it, and I love it when I do, but it's been a long time. No new cards coming out for it. The last set was Vortex, released in 2014, I believe. So yeah, that is Kaijudo. I really miss it. I just wanted to get the awareness out there about it and let you guys, right now while I'm talking about it, you can just see some cool cards. But it was great. It was fun. I loved it. I very much missed this game. So if anybody else and they're watching this video, if you had experience with this game, please tell me about it in the comments. Let me know if you know anything else about why the game discontinued and you are able to share it. Please let me know in the comments, and if you could post sources, I love reading about it. I search quite often about any news of it getting picked back up. I haven't heard anything, but I would very much love to see this game come back. And if it came back as Kaijudo, that'd be great because I already have Kaijudo cards. But if it came back as a different card game and you guys have any rumors about that, because this was actually a relaunch of Duel Masters. But if there's any rumors about a game that's a relaunch of Kaijudo or Duel Masters coming and you guys have any news about that, that'd be also great to hear. If you guys want to see more Kaijudo content, please let me know by dropping a like and subscribing, and also commenting. That always helps. And I am Mayor Hawk, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this, a little bit different video format, it being a vlog and a card game instead of video game, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Mayor Hawk out.